Hi guys, it's your friend Ballistic B, and today we are going to be unboxing the Hobby Park RC Workstand. This thing has a lot of great features. First of all, of course, it's aluminum alloy. It's got an adjustable height, 360-degree rotation. This thing has soft pads to actually hold the RC better in place and give it some traction and friction so it won't easily slide off. It's also got a measuring scale on one side to be able to measure parts to kind of help yourself figure out if things are the right sizes when you're fitting them on. But then on the other side, it's also got a magnetic tray so that when you're taking your parts off, you don't have to have one of these, which of course doesn't cost very much at your local Harbor Freight, but is a great thing if we can have A, another one, and B, one that is immediately underneath the chassis when you're making these repairs. As you know, if you've ever done this before, there are always small pieces falling off, and when they fall off, hitting the workbench, potentially hitting the floor, rolling under something, it's a problem. Now, if these things fall off, they've got a chance to actually hit that little magnetic workspace, that little pad. So we're going to check that out as well. Let's go ahead and get on the unboxing, and we are truly starting from scratch, so we are going to actually bust open the tape and see what we've got on the inside here. I should point out as well, when I'm talking about the stats for this particular product, this Hobby Park RC Workstand only will run you $20. $19.98 on Amazon, delivered to your front door within a day or two. So when you're talking about bang for your buck, I'm really hoping that this works out, doesn't end up being flimsy. It's made of some strong stuff and will hold up to the weight of a 1/10 RC monster truck. It says it's for 1/8, 1/10, and 1/12, so it should be able to handle that without a problem. Let's take a look at what we got inside. Already impressed with the fact that I made the decision to choose blue, and already noticing there's going to be a little assembly required with some of these little soft foam skid plates, and going to be double-sided tape adhering the magnetic strip down. So a little bit more assembly than I had thought might be involved. Obviously, it came in a very small box, so I knew there's going to be some. This is what would be the hydraulic portion of a traditional lift if this was for a full-size car. Your local automotive shop. Got some Allen wrenches, 2 different sizes, couple screws, bolts, and then I think our main stand here. 2 separate pieces, and you can see, I think pretty easily, measuring strip here, and this other side, we'll take it out so you can see it easier. Measuring strip here, looks like inches and centimeter metric. And then this is where you're going to put the magnetic strip. So as this foot plate sits down, things are going to be able to fall potentially right in here. That's my hope. Already made out of some pretty strong materials. You can see the thickness. So this is not a flimsy piece of equipment. I'm also hoping that this is designed such that these pop out to go on the bottom so that they can fit down here and be able to provide a little stability to keep this from sliding as the car is set up on the base. A little bit of dust, making it look a little less shiny than it is, but obviously beautiful, reflective, and actually some degree of metal fleck. A little bit of metal fleck blue in there, so I imagine it's going to sit like this. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started putting this thing together. We're going to pop the RC truck onto it, show you the pros and cons of using this versus just your wheel or holding it in your hand. And hobefully there will be a lot more pros for the Hobby Park work stand than our wheel as a jack stand, which of course was $1998 cheaper. All right, guys, we'll see you in a minute. All right, guys, on to the assembly. And here's a good diagram of where everything is actually going to fit, so that if you guys get confused during the explanations to follow, just refer back to this picture to show you everything that you need. First, insert 2 flat Allen screws into the bottom of the base plate, and then place the rotational lift shaft down on top of the screws on the other side of the base plate, where you'll then need to tighten them down. Now insert the screw riser into the lift's base and twist it down until it's in securely. Then we will take the very small cylinder-shaped Allen screws and feed them into either side of the rotational lift's base. Tighten these in with the provided Allen wrench to secure the riser's screw and keep the chassis plate from rotating, or unscrew one of these small screws to allow the rotational shaft to rotate and raise or lower the chassis support plate. Next, place the rounded Allen screw on top of the chassis support plate and tighten it down into the rotational lift's screw below. Now on to cleaning the surfaces for the pads and the magnetic strip with alcohol. Next, we're going to be punching the circular inserts out of the chassis support pad and removing the backs from the pads. Now apply several dots of super glue to the sticky portion of the pads as needed, and then fit them down carefully, making sure that you've mated them to the correct side for the chassis support. Next, do the same process for the circular pads at the bottom of the base plate. I used 6 here versus the recommended 4 to create added support. Finally, the same steps with the magnetic strip, and apply it to the top side of the bottom base plate wherever you desire. And now it's time to let things set overnight. And in the meantime, we can relax with a little bit of RC bashing to create a need to use the work stand and replace something, or just take it easy with a little bit of Call of Duty or Warzone. But for you guys, make sure to jump on over to our next video, where we'll be giving you a demonstration of how the stand works.